They thought surrounding his convoy would end his journey, but what happened next shocked the world. The sun was setting over Wagadugu. Dust filled the air as the presidential convoy moved forward. Soldiers sat alert inside armored vehicles. At the center, Captain Ibrahim Traoré's car drove steadily. Suddenly, the road ahead grew silent. No markets, no traffic, only shadows hiding between buildings. The convoy slowed down. Radios crackled with tension. "Sir, something feels wrong," whispered a guard. From both sides of the street, men appeared, armed, masked, determined. They blocked the road with trucks. Behind, another barricade fell in place. The convoy was trapped. Hearts raced inside every vehicle. The captain sat calm, his eyes sharp. "Hold your fire," he ordered firmly. The ambushers shouted demands. "Step out, surrender, or face death." Soldiers raised their rifles, awaiting command. A single mistake could spark chaos. But Traoré's hand rose, signaling patience. His voice carried strength. "You surround me, but you don't surround the truth." The attackers exchanged nervous looks. Their leader stepped forward. "Your rule is over, Captain. The people are against you." Traoré's gaze pierced through him. "If the people are against me, why do they cheer when I stand with them?" Suddenly, echoes filled the air, not of gunfire, but of voices. Thousands of citizens emerged from the alleys, men, women, children, carrying flags. They rushed toward the convoy. "Long live Traoré," they cried. "Leave our leader alone." The attackers looked around in shock. Their trap had failed. The people formed a human shield around the convoy. Mothers stood in front, fearless. Youths raised their fists. Elders shouted blessings. The convoy was no longer trapped. It was protected by its nation. Soldiers inside vehicles lowered their rifles in awe. Traoré stepped out of his car, calm, unshaken. He walked straight to the ambushers. The crowd gasped. "Captain, no!" they shouted. But he raised his hand. His stride was steady, each step echoing authority. He faced the armed men eye to eye. "If you came for me, here I am," he declared. Silence fell. Not even the wind dared to blow. The attacker's leader hesitated. His hands trembled on his weapon. Then something incredible happened. The man dropped his gun. "I cannot do this," he muttered. One by one, others followed. Weapons clattered to the ground. The people erupted in cheers. Soldiers quickly secured the scene. But no blood was shed. Traoré turned to his people. "You see, strength is not in guns, but in unity." The convoy moved again, this time escorted by citizens. Streets rang with songs of freedom. Children waved flags from rooftops. Women danced with joy. Elders raised prayers to the sky. The ambush had turned into a festival. Even soldiers smiled with relief. The air carried hope instead of fear. Traoré stood tall on his vehicle. He saluted the people. News spread instantly across the world. Leader survives ambush with power of the people. Social media lit up with videos. The images went viral. Commentators called it miraculous. Analysts struggled to explain. But the truth was simple. A leader loved by his people cannot be overthrown. Not by bullets, not by betrayal. That night, the city stayed awake. Bonfires lit up neighborhoods. Families celebrated safety. Songs of resistance filled the air. The ambushers were taken into custody, but treated with dignity. "Justice is not revenge," Traoré said. His words echoed deep. The people nodded in respect. Their bond grew stronger. In the capital, foreign powers watched closely. They had expected his fall. Instead, they witnessed his rise. Their strategies were shaken. "How do we fight a leader shielded by millions?" one asked. No answer came. The world had seen the truth. Burkina Faso was unbreakable. Its unity was its greatest weapon, and its captain was its heart. Days turned into weeks, The attempted ambush became legend. Children told the story at schools. Artists painted it on walls. Poets sang of courage. Musicians turned it into rhythm. It became more than survival. It became a symbol, a lesson in history, a mark of destiny. Traoré continued his mission. He visited villages without fear. He spoke directly to farmers. He ate with workers. He listened to women's struggles. He encouraged the youth. His presence was real. His leadership was lived. Every ambush only strengthened him. Every challenge only raised him higher. The ambushers, once enemies, began to change. Some asked for forgiveness. Some even pledged loyalty. "We were blind," one confessed, "but now we see the truth." Traoré accepted them, not as foes, but as brothers returning home. "A divided nation falls," he reminded, "but a united one rises forever." Across Africa, leaders watched closely. His story inspired many. In Mali, in Niger, in Guinea, youths carried his name. "Be like Traoré," they said. Courage spread like wildfire. Fear began to die. Hope was reborn. A movement was rising, and it carried his spirit. Journalists traveled to witness. They interviewed villagers. "Why do you defend him?" they asked. A mother replied, "Because he defends us." A farmer added, "Because he is one of us." A youth shouted, "Because he is our future." Their answers left no doubt. The convoy incident was retold endlessly. Each time it grew more powerful. Each time it inspired deeper loyalty. Foreign generals studied it, but could not understand. They knew tactics, but not love. They knew fear, but not unity, and that was their weakness. On the anniversary of the ambush, the people gathered again. They marched through the same street, singing the same songs, raising the same flags, but this time without fear. For the city was alive with courage. The scars of danger had healed, replaced by pride, replaced by victory. Traoré stood before them, his uniform simple, his words clear. "They thought they could silence us," he said. The crowd roared, "Never!" "They thought they could divide us." The crowd roared, "Never!" "But we are one people, one nation, one destiny." Cheers shook the ground. The air carried electricity. The future felt unstoppable. That day became known as the Day of Unity. Schools taught it as history. Churches and mosques prayed for it. Families passed it down to children. It was no longer just an ambush. It was a turning point, a proof of unshakable strength, a symbol of people's power, a reminder of their unbreakable bond. And the world never forgot it. As the sun set behind the capital, the city glowed with unity. Drums echoed through the streets, guiding the rhythm of hope. Children carried torches, their faces shining with pride. Elders sat on chairs, smiling, remembering the struggle. "We have seen many leaders," one elder whispered, "but this one stands with us." Traders offered free food to the crowd. Women served water to tired marchers. Strangers embraced like family. The nation was one body, one soul. In distant lands, television screens broadcast the images. Some foreign leaders frowned in silence. Others whispered in admiration. "This man cannot be moved," one admitted. The power of the people had spoken, and it was louder than any bullet. In universities, students debated the meaning. "Is this the beginning of a new Africa?" they asked. Teachers nodded. "It is the birth of a new chapter." Meanwhile, the youth organized patrols in their neighborhoods. "No more enemies in the shadows," they said. They carried not weapons but whistles and radios, protecting their streets with discipline. The government worked hand in hand with them. Traoré himself visited one patrol at night. "You are the true guardians," he told them. Their eyes lit up with honor. He shook every hand. No leader had done that before. In villages far away, the story reached farmers. They stopped their work to listen. Radios carried the news. Songs praised the unity. Old men in huts whispered prayers, women ululated with joy. "Our captain is safe," they sang, "and with him, our future is safe." Even the cattle seemed calmer, even the fields seemed greener. Writers began recording the event. Some wrote books, others wrote poems. Painters covered walls with murals. The convoy surrounded became art. The people's shield became legend, and Captain Traoré became symbol. A symbol not just of Burkina Faso, but of a continent rising and a future no enemy could cage.